Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, everyone. We are starting this new session of classes with a whole body practice. So I'm going to start by coming onto my mat. Of course, you can have props, blankets, anything you want. I'm actually going to catch one of my blankets to sit on. And the first thing that we're going to do today is to sit in a cross-leg position. And we're going to play a little bit with opening the hips. So as I start, the first thing that I'm going to do is to lift one of my legs. You can pick any of the two, and just holding it any way you can hold underneath your foot. You can catch your knee and your foot together. And we're going to play a little bit with moving that leg side to side. It's not, as you can see, a very big movement. I'm just starting to slowly ignite more blood flow in the hip flexor, in the leg, and of course we are working onto the hips. So just a little bit side to side, a few times. Any way you want to hold it. And then I'm going to add a second movement with the same leg, and I'm going to help it create some circles. So now I'm starting to go a little further. Again, it's not super big, and I'm going to do minimum 4 going one way, and then I'm going to reverse it, okay? 4 or 5. Good, and then I'm going the other way. These first movements that we are doing are very helpful to start sensing what's going on. Sometimes we have tension, sometimes we feel like it's a little compacted or tight. So we go easy as we listen to what's going on, so we don't push right where we need that. We need to maybe back off. Okay, I did a little bit of that. I'm going to release that first leg and take a breath there, and then we go into the second leg. So I'm going with my second one. I'm holding either from underneath or knee and foot, and I'm doing the first movement, which was only going sideways. So I'm going right and left a few times. And sometimes we can start feeling the difference between one side and the other, right? Maybe one feels flexy, fluid, easy compared to the other side, or the opposite. Good, I'm doing a few more. Good, and then from there, I'm changing a little bit how I'm holding so I can draw more of a circle. And again, I'm getting a little deeper, kind of what we call teachers hydrating the joint. So I'm going into that hip joint a little deeper, and then reversing the movement a few times. And again, it doesn't have to look very big or go really far, okay? Good, I'm adding one more. Super, and then I'm releasing, and I'm going to bring my feet together. And in this one, I'm going to bring my arms behind me so my fingertips hold my mat. If your fingertips don't touch the floor or the mat, you can always add blocks or books or pillows, anything that you have at home. And I'm going to keep activating my hip flexors by just bringing the knees up and down. Okay, 5 of those. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe you hear some clicking sounds of the hip joints, which is completely normal. Then from there, I'm closing again. I'm going to move from there into hands and knees. And if you need to pad your knees here, of course, you're welcome to keep using a blanket or anything that you have from home, okay? Now I'm going to add a few circles with the pelvis. And this actually starts getting a little more into the lower back. Maybe you feel it also in your knees, your outer hips. Again, I'm going one way a few times, any amount. It can be a big circle or a small one. And then I'm reversing and going a few times. Of course, second side. Good. Then from there, I'm going to widen the knees. Bring my sitting bones towards my heels, extend my arms a little further towards the top of my mat, and push my hands down and away from me to feel the elongation in the sides of my trunk, right? So I'm pushing the, like I said, the mat down and away, lengthening the torso, making my sitting bones and my tailbone move closer to my feet or heels, even though they don't have to come together. And then if you can, you release the forehead down. If the forehead doesn't easily touch down, then you can again add a block, a pillow, or anything that you have hanging there at home to help you. And notice the opening in your armpits, in your chest. Just a couple of breaths. If you can, you breathe through the nose. And you make that breath move through the central axis in your body, right? What we usually visualize as the spinal cord, that central channel from the bottom to the top. And releasing, letting go from top to bottom. Good, then I'm slowly returning to a tabletop. Hands are under the shoulders and my knees come under my pelvis. And instead of staying in this neutral position, I'm going to walk my hands over to the left. So I'm trying to do kind of like the same like the same tabletop shape, but more in a diagonal, right? So I'm pointing towards the left diagonal for me, and I'm keeping my wrists under my shoulders. And in this diagonal, I'm going to do what we usually call the cow cat, or the undulations for the spine. So it's a little different. I'm trying to stretch the right side as well. Let's go. I'm inhaling, arching, lifting through the chest, shoulders back. Exhaling, belly button comes in, tailbone down, and I'm bringing my chin towards the chest. And again, two more here. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, through the nose, exhale. Good. Then I'm returning back towards the neutral. And now you'll see my other side. I'm going over to my right side. So I'm trying to go towards the right diagonal. I'm putting again my shoulders above my wrists. Once I get to the place that I feel it's my limit to go to the side 3 times, we inhale, lifting the tailbone, arching the back, shoulders back and lifting the chin. Exhaling, I'm rounding opposite to what I did before. Again, inhaling, exhale. We keep the face soft. One more time. Beautiful. I'm returning towards my neutral one more time. And from here, I'm going to turn my fingertips just a little bit towards the sides of my mat. So it's just a hair of turning my fingers out. And then I'm moving my knees a few inches back, widening my feet. I'm going to curl the toes. I'm going to, before going up into what we call the down dog, I'm going to bring the shoulder blades into one another, dropping the heart or the center of the chest, then lifting through the chin. So I'm already feeling like a little bit of an arch there. And from that place, moving the shoulder blades down my back, I'm going to curl the toes if they are not already, and start lifting my knees to push the mat down and away, to start stretching and elongating the spine. When I get to the place where I feel like my spine is long, then as you maybe saw, I drop my head and my neck, and then I'm going to pedal my feet a few times. The legs really, right? It's almost like if I'm walking or pedaling, letting my hips going side to side, firming through the arms, pressing through the heels of my hands, trying to really reach up with my hip creases towards my sitting bones, dropping the neck. You can even move the head if you want to make sure that you're not gripping your neck there. And then I'm going to start walking my hands back towards my feet. I'm going to widen the feet so they almost touch the sides of my mat. And then I'm going to turn my toes out. And after doing that, I'm going to start bending the knees slowly. And I'm going to come towards a squat. And if for this squat you need to add pillows or blankets under your heels, or maybe a block under your sitting bones so you can sit on and you feel more stable, you're welcome to do that, okay? I'm swinging a little bit here, going again into the outer hips. And maybe if you prefer not to move so much, you stay at the center. My arms are pressing into my inner legs, staying here for a moment. Always trying to connect to the breath in a fluid way. Imagine it's a river and that breath is really moving in a gentle way and it doesn't stop. Good, then we're going to add a little bit more work here. So I'm going to press through my feet and we're going to try and count 5 to come up. You're gonna do it the way you can, okay? So I'm pressing and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax the shoulders. And then we count to go down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm back into my squat. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put the hands down, we lift the hips, we bring the feet so they are parallel this time to one another. Drop the torso over the legs, and if you need to bend your knees, let them stay bent. And you can swing like I'm doing a little bit side to side, or even the torso going sideways over one leg and the other, relaxing the head. Good. Then from here, coming back to the center, I'm going to walk my feet a little closer to one another until they are hip distance apart. In this portion, you may need a block or a book or something that you can touch if your hands are not touching down, okay? And what I'm going to do is to bring my right hand outside my left foot if it's possible. That's why I said maybe you need a block or a book or something. I'm going to try and keep my legs straight, pressing through my heels and spreading my toes. But if this is not possible, you bend the knees and it's fine, okay? So right hand to the left, I'm going to inhale, send the left arm up and twist and bring the chest up towards the skies. Breathing in here, exhaling and dropping. And I'm switching sides. Left hand coming to the outside of my right foot, pressing firmly through my heels. I'm inhaling and turning over to my right. Exhaling, we come back. We are going to repeat it one more time. Right hand goes to the left and trying to touch down anything, right? A book, a block, anything that you have there. Inhaling, we turn to the left, opening the heart up. Exhaling, we return. And then last side, left hand to the right. Draw your lower belly internally, move it into your body and turn up to the right. Exhaling, we release. Beautiful. From here, I'm walking my hands back towards the top of my mat to take the downward facing dog. Push the sitting bones up and away from you. And if you can, widen from your shoulder blades down into your pinky finger. So push down into your hands. Okay, now we are going to bring the feet together. So they are touching the inner feet at the back of my mat. I'm going to inhale my right leg up and then bring my right knee towards the chest. And once I have that knee towards the chest, I'm going to do a few circles with that knee going to the right. 1, 3, let's do. 2, trying to keep the shoulders steady, and 3. And then I'm reversing. 1 and 2 and 3. Super good for the hip joints. And then I'm releasing that foot down. Remember, we are trying to keep the arms straight, right? So I'm pushing my hips up and back. I'm going to send my left leg up this time and then bring the left knee towards the chest. Any amount that you can bring it, okay? And then I'm going for 3 out. Push the floor away, keep the shoulders steady. And then I'm changing up another 3. Good, I'm returning with my feet, my foot sorry down, push the sitting bones up and back, then widen the feet again a little so they are hip distance apart. And from here, we come towards the top of a push-up. We call it a plank. I'm keeping my shoulders above my wrists, pushing through the heels, inner thighs go up, and the navel moves towards my nose. And I'm lengthening also through the back of my head. Good. Now I'm pushing back to down dog. And the next time I'm breathing in, I'm coming back to the plank. Then I'm bringing my knees down, keeping my core engaged. I'm going to bend the elbows and bring my torso down. Good. Once you come down, extend through the legs. Bring your forearms in front of you. Push the hands down into your mat and drag with your fingertips. Drag the mat or the floor towards you so you can bring the chest in between your armpits and lift the sternum up. Once you do that, take the tailbone in, and it's almost like if with your pubic bone, you're pushing into the floor and lifting yourself a little higher. Collarbones are wide and your shoulder blades are moving down your back. Take a breath. Good, then exhale and release. Bring your hands below your chest, re-extend through the legs, push through the tops of your feet, pubic bone down, tailbone in, and now we push to lift into what we call the Cobra. It doesn't have to be super high. Shoulder blades down your back, turn the chin to the right, then back, then to the left, and back, and release. Good, now I'm going to bring my right forearm in front of me and push with my right elbow so I can lift my chest a little. I'm going to bend my left knee, send my left arm back, catch my foot if it's possible. If not, you bring a belt and you can lasso your foot. And I'm pressing gently with my left hand into my foot to bring it in. Now, once I do that, I want to again push the pubic bone into the floor. Push my right elbow down, so I'm lifting the chest and I'm not collapsing there, okay? So push, keep the left elbow bent and bring the left shoulder blade towards your spine and breathe here. Good, then I'm releasing slowly and we're going to proceed to change sides. So I'm bringing my left forearm in front of me. I'm pushing through the elbow, so I'm not collapsing on my shoulder, right? I want to push and lift the chest, pubic bone pressing down, extending through the legs. When you're ready, you bend your right knee, you bring the right arm behind, you press into that right foot to bring it in. I don't know if you can see, I hope you can, but I'm keeping my elbow bent, okay? Once I have that, again, I'm trying to press through the pubic bone, push the left elbow so I lift my chest. Right shoulder blade is moving towards my spine as I bring my foot in. Breathing here. Then I'm slowly releasing that. And from here, I'm going to push myself into down dog, lifting up to stretch the lower back. It may feel a little affected by that back bending action that we were doing. So lengthen through the spine, push the floor away. One big breath here. And then bring your knees down. And let's take that child's pose again. Big toes touching, knees wide. And release the arms in front of you. Bring the forehead down. Let's take 3 breaths. Try and fill in your cup with that breath, that rush of air into your lower back. expanding in the back of your belly. Good, one more breath. Nice, and then coming to a tabletop from here, I'm going to bring my right foot forward in between my hands, okay? So that's there. If you need blocks to help you, you can do that. And if you need a blanket under the left knee, you do that as well, okay? First thing that I'm going to do here is to bring my hands on top of my right thigh. I'm going to let my hips come forward and down. You see how they are shifting towards the top of the mat. And I'm making my tailbone again move down towards the floor. So again, I'm going into that hip joint in the left side, and I'm lengthening through the sides of my body. I'm going to bring my fingertips towards my head. You can see I'm bending elbows, so it opens the chest. And then as I keep my tailbone moving down, I'm going to inhale, extend my arms, and from your thumbs, stretch the back body up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, touch down, tuck your back toes and lift your left knee, and then twist over to your right. Opening the chest, inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale, bring the right hand down. And one more thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to bring my right foot inside my right, my right hand inside my right foot. I'm going to turn myself to the left, and then I'm going to bend my right knee so I can stretch the left leg out. Okay, so you can see how I stretch. It doesn't matter if your hips are not low, it can be that you're more like here, and it's totally fine. Okay, so any amount, I'm pushing through my left heel and I'm sitting over onto the right. Take another breath. Nice. I'm adding one last thing before switching sides. With my right arm down, I'm going to lift the left arm up and open the chest here as well. Shoulder blades behind the heart. Good. Then I'm coming back, returning to where I was and bringing my left knee down. Okay. Options here. If you want, you can go from here into a down dog, and then we switch sides, or if you don't want that, you can come back to the tabletop where we were before, and from here you switch into the second leg, okay? So if you're in down dog and you want to come from here, you put that left foot forward, right knee down, and we switch sides. Okay, here I am in this place like I was before. When I get there, hands to the thigh. Last portion, okay, so last side. Now I'm making my hips, I'm helping my hips come forward and down. I'm going to let the tailbone move towards the earth, soften the shoulders, lift the heart. Then we bring fingertips towards the head. Inhale here. Then arms go up, and I'm stretching through my thumbs, so the back body is lifting. Then I'm releasing hands down. When you get there, you can always put blocks or anything you need. I'm lifting my right knee, pushing through the back heel, and I'm going to twist over to the left. Push the floor away so you can lift the heart. If the head feels funny here or the neck, you can always gaze down. Good. When you come back, you bring now the left hand inside your left foot. I'm going to give you my back, but it's the same as we did before. I'm going to walk over to my right a little, turning my left foot, and I'm going to stretch now my right leg. Okay. So again, like I said before, any amount, you can have the hips really low or they can be really high. Push through the right leg, right heel. If you can, you open the chest, softening the shoulders. Good, and then I'm using my left hand inside my left leg so I can ground myself and open up through the right side. Good, and I'm returning back to the top of my mat where I was before. And again, option 2, return to that tabletop, or you can take another down dog. Good, then from here, I'm coming back, Super, I'm going to cross my shins so I can come back towards a seat. And in this seat, I'm going to change so you can see me. In this seat, I'm going to put the soles of the feet together and I'm going to let my knees go to the sides wide. I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to try and bring or drag my heels towards me. I'm going to press into the pinky side of my feet down onto the floor and lift my outer heels a little, and keeping that and pressing the feet into one another, I'm going to try and lengthen from my groins to my knees. So I'm trying to stretch the inner thighs, okay? I'm not pushing the knees down, but I'm lengthening the inner thighs out, okay? So let's try that, lifting the chest, softening the shoulders. Keep your chin slightly in, so the back of your neck and the back of your skull, they create a lift, right? That it's coming from the bottom of the spine up to the head. Good. Then I'm releasing that, slowly bringing my hands together, sorry, my knees together, and then coming onto my back, hugging the knees in and rocking a little bit side to side. Good, from here I'm going to extend my left leg, lace my fingers behind my right thigh, and lift that right leg, pushing the leg into my hands, okay? Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then I'm bending the right knee, hugging it into my chest, and with my left hand, I'm going to bring that right leg, right knee, hip over to the left. You can choose to extend your right arm overhead or turn the face over to the right and bring your arm into a cactus shape, if that feels better, or extend the arm into a T letter if you have the space. Nice, one more breath. Then I'm slowly coming back, hug that right knee in. We are into the last part of the practice. We extend that right leg to the top of the mat, bring the left knee in, and see if you can keep that right leg heavy. Then lace the fingers behind your left thigh, lift that left leg and push with your thigh into your hands. We are lifting through the back of the leg to create opening also there in the hamstring, back of the knee, shin. And then slowly bending that left knee and bringing it back to my chest. I'm going to make a little bit of space, so I'm shifting my body to the left. But from here with the right hand, you bring that left knee over. Once you find the place where you feel it's your limit, then you choose if you want the left arm overhead. You can also do the cactus or the T letter and turn the head over. Try and relax the shoulders here, softening the face, and let that belly create that torsion coming from the right to the left, opposite to your leg, going from left to right. Nice, and slowly returning back to center, hug both knees in, and give yourself a little bit of a swing of your knees, going one way, and then the other. You can even switch that by separating your knees, making them go out and away from one another and then towards each other a couple of times, and then reverse that. Good. Super. Let's put those feet down. We are almost at the end. Let's extend one arm to turn over to the side, press up towards a seat, find a seat, cross-legged or any shape that feels good for you, and bringing the palms together into the heart center. We sit just for a moment so we can bring awareness to the sensations in the body, the rhythm of the breath after the practice. Noticing perhaps pulsations, your heartbeat. And at this time that we are closing the practice, an opportunity to bow in gratitude for having this time together.